G'day everyone, my name is David Meyer. Welcome back to First Time Reefer TV. So today I'm ducking down to my LFS. I've got some stuff that I need to pick up for my tank, and I was going to go to Bunnings, and I thought, you know what, let's go and support my local fish shop, because these guys go to a lot of effort to get the store looking nice for people to come down, and as a bonus, instead of going to Bunnings, you get to come to an aquarium and check out some fish and tanks as well. So let's have a quick look around. Up the front here, they've got their gallery, which for those of you who haven't come down to Melbourne, or even are in Melbourne and haven't seen the gallery here at Nature Aquarium, it's definitely very high in my agenda. That has to be a must visit when you come down here, because it's like jam-packed with some pretty special tanks. So you got their Altum display here, which is the Cade Altum tank. Got some pretty amazing Altums in there that are getting some good size, and they feed really well. So it looks like some Aponogeton Ovaceus out the back there, which is pretty rare Aponogeton. This tank's been cleaned up a couple of times because the plants go absolutely nuts. If you have a look at the Altums, they've got like some serious depth on them. So that one there is probably one of my favourite tanks. Say hi to James. This is James, the store manager of Nature Aquarium. So we'll have a quick chat to him a little bit later after we show you around the tanks. And they got their Cade 6-foot marine here, which is jam-packed full of coral as well. Probably every coral under the sun, which looks pretty awesome. And I visited the store when they first set up this tank, and it was obviously really empty back then, and slowly over time it started to fill in with heaps of really nice coral pieces. And then we've just got like all the tanks that they sell as well. This paludarium you guys have seen in one of my previous videos when we did the flower and garden show. They've got another Cade terrarium here, which is the terrarium series with the misting sprays up the top. And the scape looks pretty awesome in this one. A little bit of water. I think they had some stick fish in here, which they've changed now. But that's a pretty neat little setup. And if you go around to this one, that's another Cade tank. You can see that they're a big fan of Cade, which is a massive paludarium display as well. And I've recently just redone this tank. It was jam-packed full of mosses and hydrocotyle mini along the back there, which they pulled it all out. And I think Steve's gone for a little bit more of a rare species of mosses, etc. on there to make it a little bit nicer and a bit special. And just a lot of community fish down there. And that was jam-packed full of needleleaf, java fern, etc. as well, which they've cleaned up. That'll look really cool once it's filled in. So Nature Aquariums, I reckon, is just more than just an aquarium. It's more like a superstore, mega store. So you got the whole gallery at the front here, but if you have a look at the back, there's like heaps of stuff. I reckon everything you need, and if it's not here, you don't need it. So walk down to the back area. All your lights, etc. We'll go for a quick walk around. I won't talk too much about it, but go from pond equipment to pond fish to scaping supplies, a little scaper's pit for you to test out things before you buy, rows of filters, nano tanks, nets, all your gravels, aqua soils, reptile products. You've got fish foods, then you've got all of the marine stuff, so you've got all your products there, wall to wall of heaps and heaps and heaps of products, API, Seachem, Aqua Forest, Salifert, Red Sea, Continuum, everything. Then you've got all your fish here as well, which looks like they've got some new fish in here, which I saw on their Facebook, so I thought I'd come down and check them out. Got some beautiful emptiers in here. So they're starting to stock up with a lot of fish. Beautiful little fish. I might even end up walking home with a fish today. Right, then we got goldfish out the back, more escaping supplies. We've got 3 huge coral display tanks here, which they look like 4x4 tanks, stocked full of LPS, SPS, zoas, frags, everything else. And then you got the whole freshwater side of things, which is where I used to be. Find it a bit boring now. Now it looks like they're doing some work along the back here, which is pretty exciting. Steve's told me a couple of things, but I won't mention too much. So obviously there's something coming to fill this area here. Community fish, you know, where most people started all their community freshwater stuff, which is pretty awesome. And then the other side, which obviously they're doing some work here, they're going to fill some more tanks in, and then cichlids, etc. And then we got planted plants, as well as shrimp, where I used to come from. Say hi to my family, who obligingly come to every single aquarium that I drag them to, and they pretend to be interested, but they don't really care. But it's just because they love me. So, what am I here today for? I was going to go down to Bunnings to buy some super glue, because I want to glue in some corals today. So instead I came to my LFS. I'm going to ask the boys to show me which glues I can use to glue my corals into my tank, and then I'm probably going to walk away with some of these gorgeous pieces over here.
I didn't think we could fall in love, broken from the start, chained to our past. We had closed hearts. We are breaking free. It's just you and me. We might fall apart, but we're all in one. Can we break free? Can we break free? Can we break free? Can we?
Alright, so we've got all the coral glues that they have here in store, and James is just going to run through which ones is best to use and which one he prefers. And it's not necessarily always the most expensive one. James will explain it's probably more so in regards to what specific use that you're using them for. So James, if you could tell us a little bit about the glues that you've got out here and the brands and what they're used for.
Alright, so I've got a couple here which I've just got out. I've got the Aquaforest, which have 3. Your A-Fix glue, your poly glue, and your Stone Fix. Your Stone Fix is like a cement style, so really good for dry rock when you're creating an aquascape. Poly glue is like a polymer blend of plastics which you use mixed with water. Yep. Quite good with damp and
so they're like beads, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly right, exactly right. Your A-Fix glue's a 2-part like epoxy style glue. Yep. Turns out sort of similar to Stone Fix, but quite good for little purposes like frags on frag plugs, that sort of thing.
So it has like a hardening agent in it?
Yeah, exactly right. Your coral glue is a thin style glue, really good for small frags onto rocks and frag plugs and things like that. I personally like the Reef glue. Yep. It's basically a thicker version of your Reef glue.
So the thinner glue is probably easy to use outside of water,
yes.
Is that right?
Yeah,
if you're actually cutting up frags on a table.
Yep, I completely agree with that. The Reef glue being a thicker glue itself, it's a bit easier to work with. The tube itself is quite easy to work with because it's like a toothpaste tube, as you can see. Yep. As you said before, it's not the most expensive glue, but it's a nice, easy one to use. Yep. And being thicker makes it, the application's endless, basically.
Okay, so in my scenario where I'm gluing corals that are already in my tank to the actual rock work, it's probably easier to use or better to use something a little bit thicker.
Yep.
That won't sort of just dissipate underwater.
Yeah, you're right.
It actually hangs on to the coral.
Yeah, so the two that you'd be choosing from basically would be the A-Fix by Aquaforest, which is your 2-part epoxy, or your cyanoacrylate Reef glue by Seachem. But for your particular circumstance and situation, I'd say the Reef glue would probably be best for your personal use at the moment.
Perfect. I think that's done. And that's some advice that someone at Bunnings couldn't give me, and probably the biggest advantage of going to a LFS to buy your own things, especially in our aquarium industry, and you get to support the actual companies that create the products for us, as well as your local aquarium. And on the bonus side, you get to maybe come home with a fish or a piece of coral as well. But we'll take this home now, and I'll show you guys how to use the glue. Thanks a lot. Thanks, James.
Cheers.
Alright, so we're back now from Nature Aquarium. I ended up going with the Seachem Reef Glue, which is cyanocrylate adhesive, which is a gel. As James said, it's a little bit thicker, so it's probably better for my purpose because I'm gluing underwater with a tank that's already existent. So we'll go through and just glue some of the coral. So primarily I just wanted to get some of the acans off the sand bed there and just get them onto this rock work here, and glue the scollies in as well, because the tank keeps knocking them over as it swooshes past. So most of this here is pretty much going to stay fixed, and I'm just going to slowly attach the coral starting from this side and then seeing where things go after that. But I'll show you how we glue the coral into this tank. I'll just open the packet and get the glue out. So you just got to pop the tip there by screwing this in. And then we're good to go. We've got a bit of glue coming out already. So, like I said, I'm going to start with the acans here. I'm not sure where I'm going to place them, or how I'm going to place them. I've got this big sucker at the front here that's really nice. I've placed this piece here already to see how it's going to sit. So I might move these scollies out of the way for now. This Gonny here dropped onto the sand the other day, so he's certainly not looking very happy either. So I'm going to move him out of the way. Get rid of some of this crappy build-up in the top there. So then we're going to start with the big piece first. Now this big acan is a gorgeous rainbow acan. When it puffs up, it's really nice. Got some greens, reds, blues, oranges, yellows. It's gorgeous. So I want to make sure that people can really see it. So I wonder, I think it'll do best sort of around here, to be honest, because it can grow and sort of cover around that way. So that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to find out where it can anchor, which is there and there. So that's where I've got to get the glue so it can attach to the rock work. So we get a nice, probably going out of the water. So we get a nice big chunk of glue on there. Just a little dab along there. Make sure the glue stops shooting out, or it's just going to stick to whatever it touches. And just lower into the water gently so the glue doesn't fade anywhere and come off. And essentially stick it into place, hold it there for a little bit so the glue can set. This is my favourite acan because of all the insane colours that come off it. And you can see now that piece is attached, definitely. And over time that super glue is just going to harden that little bit more. And then really attach to the rock work. If it falls over, you just have to do it again. So it's not that big a deal. So I've got another couple of pieces to go. Now I want to break up the colour a little bit. This one here is a gorgeous piece as well. So it's got greens on there. Inside it's got some lines of green, red, pinks, yellows. These polyps over here you can see a bright green. So it's another beautiful piece, and I want to make sure that it's pieces that you can definitely see. And it's all about just arranging it in a way where it is going to look nice. So I think so there, those polyps can come around the side, and that puffs up really nicely. So we'll get our glue again. So I'm definitely going to anchor at the front there and at the back. So this time I definitely know I'm going to hit there and hit there. Sorry, I think I might have missed that. So I'm going to hit there and hit there. Just going to make sure there's plenty of glue on there. And then gently lower it in again. And just hold it there until it sticks. So placing it like that gives the big pieces up the top, facing towards the light. And these ones here that are starting to grow, a bit of space to grow down and around as well. Not quite stuck yet. Might need a little bit more glue on this one. I suppose that's the test where it's going to come off. You can see it's still a little bit wobbly. And that should hold. If it doesn't, I'm just going to get some more glue on there. Roll it back in. And that should definitely stick that time. Make sure it's clear off that polyp there so it doesn't cover it. And that's definitely attached, so hopefully that grows into a nice clump like that. So here's another gorgeous piece, got the nice lines on there. Bright green, like toxic bright green in the middle. So we'll find a nice home for this one as well. Now, I'm not sure what the etiquette is in regards to A-cans, whether you're meant to have them standing up or not. I think that looks quite nice there. And let's just repeat the process time and time again on every single piece until they take.
We are breaking free. It's just you and me. We might fall apart, but we're all in one. With our hearts, can we break free? Can we break free?
A can's done. Probably get just a scollies in there. Leave that one up the top there, that A can. But I'll glue the scollies probably in around that area too, so it can just grow into a nice rock island.
They were blinded, tried to deny us, didn't think we were following our hearts. We are breaking free, it's just you and me. We might fall apart, now we're running away.
A-cans are now all glued into the rock work. I'm going to give them a little bit of time just to puff back up and see how they settle in and see whether they enjoy the new spot in their tank. And like I said, guys, remember to support our local fish shops. They're the ones that really drive the hobby, and the companies that spend lots of money to provide products for us really need to be rewarded for that. So hope you guys learned something in regards to gluing some corals in your tank, and until next time, guys, peace.